All right, guys, what's up? We got Heinisch over here, set to take on Tom Breeze in UFC London here next week, right? The 16th.
Yep, Saturday.
Ian truly has one of the more remarkable stories, a comeback story, if you will. And I'm going to let him kind of tell his story. My man was a All-American wrestler in high school, kind of got off on the wrong track a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so just basically my story, started off with wrestling in high school and, had a lot of talent in that. And it's kind of, talent can make you a victim of your own talent. And, I was just, got caught up in, taking Adderall, prescribed Adderall, partying super hard. And got expelled my senior year. Ended up going to a JUCO for a little bit. Just partying was like everything, so nothing really worked out in the whole school thing. Realized school wasn't for me. Ended up going to Canada to meet this girl. She flew me out there for prom.
Man, this is before Tinder?
What?
Before Tinder. That makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no, she went to our high school and then she moved out there.
Okay.
And senior year came around. I was a year out, and she said she'll fly me out to come to prom with her. So.
Dang, I didn't know they had prom in Canada.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah, I had to go through that, but we never even went. And I got this job out there doing door-to-door sales, and I met this chick, and ended up moving in with her 10 days later, and I beat up her ex-husband.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He got beat up by the younger version.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
he should have just let it ride, man. He should have just took his losses, counted his losses, instead of taking that last one. I'm sure that one hurt.
That one hurt him, bro.
But he comes back. He has the last laugh.
He did have the last laugh.
We'll get to that in a minute.
So he kind of did his research on me, found out I was working in Canada illegally, and he called on immigration, and 8 a.m. came pounding on the door, and I thought he was coming back for round 2. I opened the door in my underwear like super early, and it was immigration. They handcuffed me, walked me out, and
in your drawers. They didn't even let you get
in my drawers, bro. And they threw me in jail for the weekend. It was when Brock Lesnar was fighting Kane.
Do they wear orange in jail in Canada?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so orange is pretty universal. I got it.
Not in Europe though.
No?
Europe, you wear your street clothes.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, it's
okay,
tight.
So if you get locked up, you want to go to jail, just have your Jordans, fuck around in Europe.
Europe, yep. That's where it's at. But it's South America too, but I mean, you got to pay to survive there. So, so I did it for like 4 days. I kind of like freaked out in there, got my Xanax prescription, and when I got out, my girl heard that I was like messing around with the girl I originally came out there. So she told me this crazy story about how she hooked up with her ex-husband's friend when I was locked up. Anyways, I just trashed her house.
So this is not a good woman to begin with.
No, it was sketchy. And I woke up next morning, she was in full mount, just like pounding on me, and I pushed her off. She said, "You're crazy," called the police. Police grabbed me up. I actually took she sold wine for a living, so I took like a few $1,000 bottle of wine and just took off towards the beach.
Okay.
And police cut me off, rolled over their front car, broke the bottle, went at them apparently. If it was America, like God willing it didn't happen there, I would have been shot down for sure.
Oh, so you're on autopilot at this point.
Autopilot, yeah. They beat my ass. And I remember I sported this huge black eye in court, couldn't even open it. And my lawyer was like, "Don't say anything." And I was like, "Your Honor, I would like to say something." And I was like, "I'm not a violent person. Just when I do Xanax and drink, the animal comes out. I won't do that. Like, let me live here." And she's like, "Mr. Heinisch, you are a threat to Canadian society."
They're very peaceful people, man. They are the most friendliest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
You don't fit in.
I just didn't fit in, man. So they put me in jail. I sat there for like 6 months, and then got deported back to America.
Man, that's like insult to injury. You made me sit here for 6 months just to fucking
send me home.
You could just send me go
right
from the jail to the bus to the airport.
Yeah,
boom.
Yeah, man. It was just that's how the system works. They really make you pay. It's a waiting game.
So you've been deported.
Yeah, so I got deported from there. Probably kicked out. And then so I got back. I'm back to square one. You know, the whole America's in a recession. My parents lost their house. You know, just square one, zero money. And I met this Guatemalan, and he had the connect for the ecstasy. So I said, you know, send me some pills. So I started getting like 2,000 pills a week, and then it ended up bringing a guy down from Canada, give me 10,000 a week, and then, you know, I got set up eventually. And I remember I was in a Walmart parking lot with a pistol to my head. And
that's usually how the drug game works, man.
It does, man. It usually don't end good. So if you're out there selling drugs, man, you better cash out.
No one ever does, though. No one ever does.
I know, it's hard. It's like the casino. You gotta cash out. So, no, I posted bail, and, you know, I was 19 years old looking at 4 to 6 or something. I got caught with 1,000 pills. They robbed like 30,000 and a bunch of other stuff. And the only thing they didn't get was a slipper like this. I had like 2,500 that I owed someone.
Yeah,
and they didn't find that. They didn't find that.
Police raid your place. Make sure you hide all your stuff
in the Uggs.
You'll be straight.
You'll be straight. Yeah, so they had that money, and it was like, you know, the ticket, man. It was like time to go. So I hopped on a Greyhound. I went to Indiana. I told my family there, as my mom's side, I was like, I'm just going to go backpack Europe. You know, it's something I want to do. And they're like, cool.
And they have no idea.
They had no idea.
Charges. And
then I took a train to New York with my dad's side. And they were like, they all knew. And they were like, just go to jail. Just face it. Like, trying to give me all this weak talk. But my mom and dad, man, they had my back. They were like, nah, just go. Just go for it. So I hopped a plane JFK to Amsterdam with like $2,000 in my pocket. And, you know, and I actually went to jail my first night in Amsterdam. So.
Dang, shit, you're on the run. You're on the run. Usually when people are on the run from the law, especially if they're like sneaking into another country, they usually fucking lay low.
Yeah.
You know, keep it real cool, get a bartending gig, you know.
So, no, I mean, I walked off the plane. I'm in Amsterdam by myself, and I'm like, what can I not do, or what can I do here that I can't do in the States? So, of course, I hit up the coffee shop. I smoke a few joints. I'm pretty, you know, I'm pretty toasted from that. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy a bottle of absinthe. And I get that green liquor, you know, it's supposed to make you trip. It didn't make me trip, but it definitely made me
fucked up.
Yeah, real.
Mission accomplished.
And then this Russian chick kind of tricked me. Like, she's like, I give you this Russian tour, like a vodka, and I was like, she was super cute. She's like, I'll drink with you after. So I was like,
fuck yeah, hell yeah.
You know,
I just got off the plane. Yeah. Out here fucking 6 hours. Hell yeah, let's go.
And so I was like, all right, but I'm gonna bring my absinthe. So I'm drinking this, and we do the tour. I couldn't even understand her, just her thick accent. Like, I was like, all right, yeah, like, cool, like, let's go to the bar, you know. And we get there, and she tricked me, man. She's like, nah, I don't even drink. She's like, but you can have my drinks.
Okay.
So I did like 6 shots of vodka there, and next thing you know, I woke up in a holding cell. I probably fell asleep on the street.
So you don't even know why you got booked?
No.
Probably nothing violent if they let you out, right?
Yeah. So I remember I was like, officer, I'm so sorry. I'm a dumbass American. I fucked up. Just let me go back to my hotel. I'm so sorry. I'll never do this again. He's like, you good? You sobering up? And I was like, yes, sir, please. I'm so sorry, sir. And he's like, all right, we'll take you to your hotel. And I remember I met some guys at the coffee shop prior to this, and they were like telling me where this club's at that's popping. And it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. And the only address that I could remember in my head was the address to this club. So I was like, they're like, all right, where's your hotel? So I was like, I told them that address. They pulled right in front of the club. And I got out of the cop car and walked straight into the club. And I was like,
that's
I was like,
nice
I love Europe, man. They let me sleep it off.
That's nice of them to give you a ride. I went to jail one time and they just let me out right there at the jail. They didn't take me home. They didn't take me.
They gave me a ride.
They definitely didn't take me to a bar.
No, it was a straight club, bro. It was popping too. They had to know.
They gave me my court date and told me to get the hell on.
So yeah, I mean, eventually, real quick, I ran out of money. I was going from hostel to hostel, and my cousin had a friend in Belgium, and he said, "Hey, go over there. He'll let you stay with him for a little bit. You need to find a job, you know." So I had my American resume. I went over there, stayed with my boy, or my cousin's friend, and
time out. You were passing out your American resume that included nothing but ecstasy selling?
No. My uncle owns a restaurant, so I put that. I put roofing, and I put like my state championship.
Hell yeah, fuck you up if you don't give me this job. Read the fine print.
And it was funny. I went to and I mean, I'm in Belgium. You know, they're not really. Some people don't speak English. Most do, but. I went to this Irish pub and this guy's just laughing at me, laughing at my resume. And he's like, you want to work in the kitchen? So I ended up being an extra hand in the kitchen. So it was good, man. Like 5-6 months went by. I was living, pretty good. Like kind of getting on track, getting a little money together. And this crazy English dude comes to this bar, and he moved there from Tenerife because he met some chick from Belgium. And so he's working at the bar, and I'm working in the kitchen. And one night the Irish guy left us there alone, and we were about to shut it down and be cool, but right before we were about to close the whole restaurant, like 20 girls came in and they were like bachelorette party. It was called a hen party, as the English would call it.
And you're the only 2 dudes there.
And we're the only 2 dudes there. And so we're dancing on the bar, we're just taking bottles, we're just chugging them behind the bar, and and so the Irish dude watched the cameras the next day, and he was like, you're fired, get the fuck out.
I'd be like, bro, can you blame me though? Can you blame me? What would you have done?
I know, right? Well, he was gay.
Oh, so what if a bachelor party came in?
No. I guess he had a business to run.
Nah,
well, my boy
might
have banged the chick on the pool table.
I mean,
pulled out.
So what? It's a bar. This place is dirty anyways,
Yeah. So I mean, he was pissed though. He wasn't gonna pay us, and we grabbed him up, pulled him by the register, and we're like, "Yo, we want our money, and you're never gonna see us again." And so he paid us right there on the spot, and we were like, "Yeah, keep the change." And we rolled out, and my boy's like, "I'll get us a job in England." So this is my first trip to England. So we hopped a ferry, we went to England. I didn't know his idea of a job is we lived in this apartment that we painted in the day. It had no carpet, no hot water, no electricity. So we camped in there.
It's a bachelor pad, bro. It's straight. What else do you need? All you need is a roof. Did it have running water?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you straight then, man. Shit.
But it was ice cold.
Man, get
and
your
it's winter.
Bag.
How you gonna shower? My boy made friends with the neighbor who lived upstairs. He's taking a bath.
Yeah, I bet that bitch fucking scrub my armpits.
It's like a family of 4. Yeah. He's up in the bathtub, like scrubbing away, making it his own. We're probably gonna meet up with him. He's crazy, bro. He got on this reality television show on Bravo, like I forget what it's called, on a boat or something. But
damn.
Yeah, he's got like no family and stuff. He was wild.
So
anyway, I was like, this is bullshit, man. We need a job. We need a real job. So I got a job at the bar. We said we came from Tenerife doing PR work, and they were like, man, we can't really like pay anyone to do this. And we're like, all right, you pay us in alcohol tonight, and we'll show you what we can do. And we filled that club. So we ended up getting a full-time job there. But like a few months later, this crazy English dude tried to like rob the safe. And I was like, yo, I don't really know this guy. Like, I don't know. And I moved over there in student housing. And, I was just getting tired of like these dead-end jobs and shit weather. So I started getting ecstasy sent over there. And I was like, maybe I can come up over here, And bad idea. Like, the English people just do really dirty drugs at really terrible prices. And like, it was just...
It's probably cut a bunch of,
Look, I mean, they're used to taking like 20 pills. Like 25 sometimes, like, and I'm like, if you took like 3, like, you might die.
Your head's gonna explode.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I'll never forget, we were at a club, and my boy, I would give them like a few hundred pills, and I'd walk around and be like, hey, you want something? And if they were like, yeah, and cool, I'd be like, that guy in the red shirt. Like, that's how we used to do it at the raves. And this English guy's like, yeah. He's like, you yank. He's like, give me 4, you yank. And I was like, yeah, chill out, though. They're from Canada. They're not what you're used to.
Yeah.
Boom, he takes 4 of them. And I'm like, bro. And then, like, 2 minutes later, he's coming over. He's got scars all over his head, like a straight, like, hooligan, white trash, like, as they call it, chav.
So he's a dipshit.
Yeah, so he's up in my boy's face who gave him it. And he's like, you sold me fake shit. And, like, spitting when he's talking, and we're like, And like we almost get in a fight, and the bouncers are looking at us, and we got a lot of weight on us, so we're like trying to keep it cool. So he's like, all right, give me 2 more, and he took 2 more. And I'm watching this dude, on the house.
Just so, shut up.
Yeah, so I'm watching this dude, and like he's still trying to like look for us to talk shit, and then all of a sudden he's just on the couch, bro, and he's like, oh. And I like come over and he's like grabbing me, and I'm like wham across the face, and he's all like, oh, like it looked like it felt good, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, we sold you fake shit, huh, you dumbass, wham, gave him another one. And I was like, this is just dangerous, man. I was like, I'm not about this life. So I got rid of everything, just like super cheap, and I hopped the plane, went to a place called Tenerife, the Canary Islands, and it was cool. I remember I walked there, and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful beach, and I just walked across the beach with a 12-pack, and I was like, this is home. It felt like home, And I got to the club after drinking the whole 12-pack, and I was like, hey, you guys hiring? And they're like, yeah, you can start tonight. And I was like,
what luck is that? What kind of luck does this guy have, man?
And I was like, cool. So I'm like PRing for him, and you get like €1, but like, because I'm the new guy, they're really trying to like get me fucked up. Yeah. And like, I remember I like did a backflip off the stairs, and like, I was like, I remember I like stumbled home that night, like, and
at least you remember. That's a plus.
For the most part. And so they were basically paying me 8 drinks when I work, 4 drinks when I get off, €1 a head a person I bring in. So 3 months of this, I'm a full-blown alcoholic. I'm basically homeless. Like some nights I'm sleeping on the beach. Like I couldn't even afford to pay rent at this little place I had, like with just a curtain where a bunch of people lived in the house. Like it was bad, man. And there was this Cuban guy, and his dad. Well, dad was from Cuba, but he was born in Miami. But he was like the only other American on the island. He came to me. He's like, man, gringo. He's like, come live with us, bro. I don't want to see you like this. Like, you don't be being homeless and doing this job. And so they took me in like family. We're actually going to go visit him after the Tom Breeze fight. I'm really excited. And then, after like 3 months of being sober, hitting the gym, the dad sat me down. He's like, hey, gringo, let's go make some real money. And I was like...
See, that's how they get you, though. Now, so did you feel like you owed them a favor?
Nah. He would have been like, if I said no, he would have been like, all right, cool. Oh, okay. He just said, we're going. So if you want to come with, we're going to do this already. Like this is what we do. Like most people don't realize, like the Colombians and the Cubans and stuff, like that's just like their life, bro. Like they're born and bred in that life. Like it's normal for them.
Given the story that you've told so far, they didn't have to twist your arm to go.
No, I was down. I was looking for something like that, actually. It was the perfect opportunity for me at the time. So, I mean, after like 13 trips, bro, I got x-rayed at that hospital, and because all the stamps I had. And that's a long story. You can watch in my biography to see all that. But I got popped with about 1 kilo. They only reported like 350 grams. So
how many grams is in a kilo?
1,000.
Oh, shit, okay, so shit.
So they took a little off the top.
Europe is the place to commit crime, bro. If you want to commit crime, go to Europe. They're going to let you off easy.
Yeah, because, I mean, you get caught with that kind of weight in America, you're doing like 7 to 15.
Yeah, you're done.
Over there, you're doing 3 to 6. And I was pissed because you're only doing 6 to 9, whether you have 1.1 kilo or you have 1,000 tons.
Yeah, ooh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same, 6 to 9. So I was like, man, we got to go big next time if we're going to do this.
Rolling the dice and you're let's fucking go.
Because, I mean, the money difference is insane. And they don't give really life sentences in Europe. They don't do that. Like, if you got 20 years, you're like a terrorist. Yeah. So, I mean, but the great thing was, man, I got sober. I joined the wrestling team. There was a boxing thing. They let me start an MMA program. I learned Spanish. I went to church. Found God, and all these things, man. And I realized I don't belong here. And I'm gonna be a UFC world champ. And like these people were just looking at me crazy, you know.
So they actually reformed you. Yeah. In Spanish prison. Man. That's the same cannot be said in American prison.
No, man.
You kind of just sit there, do your time, and.
Man, I've been doing all these interviews today, and I've just been saying, man, it's just like over there they reform you. They actually want you to get better. You can live a life in there. Like if you got 15 years, you can do activities, you can train, you can start a program, you can go to like build stuff if you want.
Do they have like misdemeanors and felonies?
Not really.
Like, so when you get out, can you like still vote, own a weapon, you know, do all that?
Well, you can't own a weapon in Europe, like a
period. No, okay.
No, it's totally different. It's a totally different system, and I don't know exactly like.
But if I go to apply for a job, do I have to say that I fucking got caught selling ecstasy or trafficking cocaine?
You know, I never really did a normal job up there, so I don't know. I'm assuming probably yes.
Because here,
oh yeah,
you have to fucking put that you're a felon.
Oh yeah,
and then it's a wrap, and then you have
you're
to go
set
back
up to fail.
Yeah,
I'm lucky I got this apartment, man. Like, you can't rent a place off of like a association, but no, like what I'm saying is like, in American prison, there's nothing to do except join a gang. They don't have any sports anymore. They took the weights out. They don't let you do boxing, you know, and they don't teach you shit except barber. You can be a barber, but they don't hire barber felons outside. So it's a revolving door, man. And they make $60,000 per year, each guy that sits in prison here.
Right.
And so they just want to fill it up. They don't reform people. They just make people disappear.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then make sure they come back.
They make sure you come back when you come out. I mean, I think it's like 75-80% of people go back, and I mean that's a stupid rate right there. And the crazy part, like in Spain too, like you're intermixed with girls sometimes. You can get to a mod. You can start writing a girl and doing like over the phone visits, and then you can like get conjugal visits. And you can get married. You can have kids in there. Like it's like living life, bro. Like in the prison, like. I mean, they treat you like a human. You get treated like a human, you're going to act like one. You get treated like an animal here, you're going to eventually turn into one.
Sure. Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did 2 years, 4 months. I got transported to the north of Spain. I got sent back to America. I signed a paper. I wouldn't go back to Europe for 5 years. And that's what's been giving me all the problems for this fight. This fight almost didn't go through because the 5 years was up this January, but I didn't have the paperwork to prove it. So it was kind of up in the air. We had to track down this lawyer. As you know, it was just kind of up in the air, but we finally got it all figured out. And so when I got back to the States, I got popped right away in JFK because I had the felony warrants for the ecstasy. And that was when we got a real taste of American prison in Rikers Island, Queens. And that was rough, man. I did like 2-3 months. It was a survival and I was in maximum security because I was a fugitive. And all the white boys wanted to protect the custody, which I didn't know. And I remember they were walking me to my wing, and I'll never forget that guard was like, "Man, you must be one bad white boy." And I was like, "What's that?"
I'm fucking Mexican, bro. I'm not fucking no hablo inglés. What the fuck you talking about?
Well, thank God I spoke Spanish fluent. That's what saved my life.
That's what I'm saying. I only spoke a lick of English the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, they knew I'm a white boy, though, bro.
Bro, there are Mexicans that look like you. There are South Americans that look like you, I swear to God.
I know there's South America. I don't know about Mexicans.
Well, fucking you come from fucking Argentina or some shit. I came up with a whole story, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just thought the white boys would stick together or like kick it with the Russians. There was none of that there.
No?
It was just blacks and Puerto Ricans.
Well, yeah, I don't think you passing for no Puerto Rican.
No,
sorry.
man. Yeah, so. But yeah, that was rough, man. And then I got transported. You know, God willing, I got taken out of there alive. It was real close a few different times and got picked up. And it was like a 11-day trip of hell, bro. Like, I seriously, like, I was surprised people didn't die in this. Like, I thought I was going to die. Like, I hate the cold. And, like, it was February in New York. So if you're from the East Coast, it's cold. They took us to Pennsylvania, up to Vermont, back through New York. And so, like, 48 hours later, we're back in New York in the back of this van, shackled from, like, this, sitting like this, can't even straighten my back. And the heater's broken. So we're sitting here, like, shaking. And we, like, literally had to, like, sit shoulder to shoulder. We're telling the guard, like, hey, man, the heater's broken. Like, we'd tell the U.S. Marshal, like, we're going to die. Like, and he's like, man, shut your ass up or we ain't feeding you.
But they get $60,000 per person, but they can't have a bus with a heater.
That's what I'm saying, man. And, like, literally there was, like, ice on the top and, like, I didn't sleep the whole time. I was like hallucinating, like, cause I would be like that the whole time. And finally, when I got to it, I was talking crazy. I read the book Art of War, and I was just like quoting words in it, like telling people about it, and like they're just like looking at me. I was like literally like, and when I finally got to a bed, I couldn't sleep. It was the weirdest thing, man, because I stayed up so long.
I'm sure it felt good to fucking.
I felt restless though.
Stretch out.
Yeah. Yeah, they took us to some jail in the mountains here, and I remember they had pillowcases. That was a big deal.
Yeah?
That was a big deal.
Feathered pillows?
No, but they had a pillowcase, and
Damn.
it was legit.
Yeah.
I finally got some sleep.
High thread count on the pillowcase?
I don't know, man, but that was one thing I'll never forget. And then I got to Jefferson County, which is in Denver. It was Valentine's Day 2014. Posted bail, walked out a free man. Met my dad downtown at a yoga festival. He's like, come in this class.
Hell yeah.
And I'm in this class, and I'm laughing my ass off. I can't stop laughing. People are looking at me, and I'm like, you have no idea. I went from all Moroccans to Spanish people, from all blacks to Puerto Ricans, from all white boys to all white yoga girls.
I think that's the direction I'd rather go too, man.
Yeah. So, but I was tripping out in that class. It was funny. I was laughing, and yeah, man. Then I found Factory X, and 12-1 later as a pro, and go to fight Tom Breeze. Fought my first fight in my debut in the UFC in Argentina, where South America, and now I'm going back to my old home. I went back to my old workplace, place of work. So it's a full circle, man. I'm excited. Man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you won your debut, split decision against the number 15
Unanimous.
Huh? Unanimous?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision over the number 15th ranked middleweight in the UFC, which is on short notice, which is is a pretty big deal. A Brazilian in Argentina, which they're neighboring countries, so that's a pretty big deal. Now you're going to London to fight Tom Breeze, who is a jiu-jitsu ace. Would you say?
I guess, yeah.
A pretty good jiu-jitsu player who likes to box, so
yeah.
You don't have to. Well, this is not gonna come out till like Friday before the fight, anyways. And I seriously doubt Tom Breeze is gonna check out my YouTube page. So, what have you been working on for this fight? How do you see this fight going?
I just been fighting tall southpaws like Cesar Ferreira, tall southpaw. Justin Sumter before him was another tall southpaw. So I just been training a lot, like on how to work a southpaw on the feet. I've been training with you. I've been training with Chris Camozzi, Dustin Jacoby. So not much has changed. I mean, like they say he's a jiu-jitsu whiz, but like I just fought a 3-stripe black belt from Brazil. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna let you know, man. Every Brazilian that you fight is gonna be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but they're not. Like Marcelo Garcia, black belt. You know what I mean?
Jacare.
Yeah, Jacare is legit black belt. David Maia is a legit black belt. But I think that, and I don't think it's just Brazilians, but in general, every time you fight somebody who's a black belt, somebody gave them a black belt just to like have it on the resume. So I don't take that into whenever I fight somebody who's a black belt, I was like, okay, whatever.
I just been fighting a lot of jiu-jitsu guys. Like I fought that for the LFA belt, that Checo dude, and he was like a heel hook expert, 3-stripe black belt under one of the Gracies from Las Vegas. Another dude, that Madrid dude. I just been fighting a lot of black belts, man. I fought a lot. Like I feel like everyone I fight's a black belt. So
if y'all don't know, Ian is just a mere blue belt.
I take it with a grain of salt though, because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All American wrestler. So I think sometimes wrestling can nullify jiu-jitsu. So that's I think wrestling will always work in your favor.
Well, I definitely don't plan on this fight going to the ground much unless I'm just taking him down to just really just blend on him. I'm just gonna blend this fight. I'm going to hit him, I'm going to take him down, I'm going to hit him, probably just let him jump back up, not chill in his guard, not play that game.
Yeah.
That's what I do with those guys. I do big double legs, throw their legs out, land in half, and elbow them a few times, stand up, and then I'm faking the shot, so they're biting on that. I'm striking more. But no, I mean, nothing's really changed, man. I'm just training every day to be the best in the world, and so I mean, if I put my game plan on him, there's nothing he's gonna do. So
yeah, I think he's gonna come forward and try and strike a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Just in the film that I've watched, you know, he doesn't shoot takedowns until it's like late in the round when he's like maybe it's a close round that he's trying to win.
Yeah.
Or he's just absolutely getting pieced up.
Yeah.
I don't know that his record. I'm not really sure if his MMA or UFC record, but you know, not a bad opponent. Definitely a good opponent for an early, you know, someone who's just getting started in the UFC career, man.
Yeah.
Man, I truly think that you're gonna go out there and finish him. I don't think he's got the heart, the athleticism that you have. So
yeah.
Guys, make sure you tune in Saturday. March 16th, I think it'd probably come on like 7 a.m. here, right? It's like 6 hours ahead, so it'll come on.
I think it's gonna come on at like 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Sometime in the early to mid afternoon.
Yeah, early.
Check out Ian, the Hurricane Heinisch, as he takes on Tom Breeze in the UFC in London. Appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Big thank you to Chevron. Thank you to our sponsors, Rev Gear and Infinite CBD. For all your CBD needs, visit infinitecbd.com and use the promo code Anders10 at checkout for big savings.